only 19 days until that All-Star race.
Yeah, can't wait.
Keep
Absolutely
counting down.
Cannot wait.
The O'Reilly Auto Parts 250 presented on Speed by World of Warcraft. Taking a look. We've completed 130 laps. Mike Skinner in front of Johnny Benson. They're running 1 and 2, but you also can see the moisture on the camera lens, and you see smoke rolling out of the 90 of Gabby DiCarlo.
Tough break too. Gabby is still on the lead lap, but obviously it's got to be an engine situation that is coming out of the tailpipe. So more than likely her race is close to being done.
On to pit road she goes once again. A lot of smoke rolling out the right side. Pipes to that 90. Let's take a look at today's Advanced Auto Parts save of the race. How about Terry Cook in this 60? The 25, excuse me, up against the wall. He had the 60 in front of him, Stacy Compton.
Yeah, Stacy got a little bit loose, and Terry had to move way up the racetrack to avoid him. Got the right sides up and the loose stuff, the marbles up there, and got on the wall. And then Stacy got even more loose and forced him in the wall again.
There's the damage to the right side of the 25 of Terry Cook. Save of the race brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts. Keep the wheels turning. And the wheels are turning on our jet dryers now, as we see. Looks like Gabby DiCarlo is going to call it a day. They'll push that truck back behind the wall. And we're also hearing that the trucks are being brought onto pit road. The entire field will come onto pit road while they continue to try to dry this racetrack. Let's go back trackside to Adam Alexander.
And as they bring the trucks down pit road, that means Jeff Hensley, crew chief for Brian Scott, will get to visit with his driver shortly. And, you know, this will be your third consecutive top 10, so you can't be upset about the way you're running, but I would guess you guys are hungry for more.
Yeah, I mean, we thought we had a really good truck there Friday in practice and qualified pretty good. And then Saturday we were really good there. But we're really good on long runs. And, man, if we could go green from right here all the way, I would love to see it, go green. We need about 30 laps to really get even and about 20 more to really get better than what the other guys are. So, but Brian's doing a heck of a job in this Albertsons Toyota, and I just want to thank him and all the Scott family and all the guys back at the shop that give us the opportunity to do this. This is a lot of fun.
How tough has this weekend been on you? Not the length of it, which has, I think, been a challenge for everyone, but we haven't been out here when it hasn't had the wind blowing at least 20 miles per hour. Different weather conditions Friday and Saturday, and today completely off of what we've seen the first 2 days.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing was, Brian had a really good feel there Friday and realized that the wind was really upsetting our truck down in turn 3 and 4. So we concentrated on turn 1 and 2 most of the day and got our truck really good. And that's a pleasure to work with a kid that knows the difference. And it enabled us to get our piece as good as we can be. And right now we're third. I think if we had a 50-lap run, we might have a shot of winning it. But right now I think we're probably a third or fourth place truck. So, hey, these races are hard to win, and we've been up front all day long. And sometimes I'd rather be lucky and good. Right now I wish we was out front, but I think he's done a heck of a job.
You started working with Brian in September last year. What kind of progress has he made?
Oh, wow. I mean, he's made a lot of progress, but he didn't have a lot to make. And I know it sounds kind of crazy because the first time I worked with him, I said, man, this kid's got the deal. He's the real deal. And he's a pleasure to work with. He really appreciates everything we do and the crew does, and got excellent feedback. And he's determined. And the pleasure about it is we know when we put the lift gate up on the Albertsons hauler headed to the racetrack, we've got a shot to win. We may not do it, but we're usually in the top 4 or 5 trucks every week, and just circumstances sometimes prevent us from getting the finishes we deserve. But, I think the more we work together, the better we'll be.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Again, those two talking about Brian Scott and the talent that he brings to that team.
And Jeff Hensley's been around a long time. Yeah. He's had some terrific drivers. He actually was a crew chief for Chuck Bound when they won the Busch Series championship back several years ago. So a lot of talent that Jeff's been around. And he's got a cousin, Jimmy Hensley, was one of the best drivers we ever saw in this series. Won races in this series as well as the Busch Series.
Red flag condition once again at Kansas Speedway in the Camping World Truck Series. This time after 132 laps are complete. The first time it was 80 laps ago after 52 laps had been complete, and that was actually on Saturday. Now, light rain, mist falling onto the racetrack. The jet dryers are out there, and they're battling with it. Ray Dunlap.
Well, we're just down here at the front of the grid. Mike Skinner has climbed out of this Bad Boy Motors race truck. And any weather forecasts?
Call Larry McReynolds because he's an expert. He knows. And I bet if you ask Eric Phillips, he'd give you a good one right now. But no, it got really, really slick down there from the center to the exit. And then the very last lap down there in 4, I was just slipping and sliding everywhere. And I know Johnny was looking for a spot where I wasn't slipping and sliding. And every time he got out of my tracks, he was slipping and sliding.
That was pretty wild, man. If they call this race right now, you okay with that?
I'm okay with that. I think me and Mike are too old to race in the rain. I can tell you that. But it was starting to get pretty slippery. But
I'd almost trade places with him and still call it right now. I was scared.
And the temperature, guys, down here, it is just getting colder and colder by the minute. No kidding. You know what I was just thinking about? I was thinking about back quite a few years ago when Toyota first came into this sport. You were at a team called Bang Racing, and you had this crew chief named Eric Phillips, and you guys came to Kansas, and it just wasn't going very good. Is there a little redemption in that, maybe?
Well, there could be, but Eric's done a fantastic job with this thing, and I've learned to shut my mouth a little bit as a driver, and he's learned to deal with drivers like me since then, so hopefully it's been a positive for both of us.
You know, Mike, I was joking with you the other day when we came on the air about how bad your truck was in this first practice. I mean, I heard you kidding. I know you weren't kidding, but you actually said that you thought maybe the rear clip was bent or that you had a track bar problem or something because it was pushing so bad. How did it get better?
The truck that Travis Quapple won the very first Toyota race with, I think at Michigan, I would not let out of our camp. It was truck 10. A couple of years ago, after Johnny and I was teammates, we were at Dover, and we just couldn't. It was the same feel, same situation. Crawled up underneath the truck. You could see cracks around where the bars went through, and I thought that was maybe what was going on with this truck because this was a used truck anyway. And then they've done a lot of testing and 7-post stuff, and they've bent this truck a lot on the K-rig. So I was up under there looking for cracks. I couldn't find any, so the driver kind of ran out of excuses.
Well, I think he'll leave it to the crew chief now, guys. But Skinner is out of this 5. Crew members are around. They've got these trucks covered up. And obviously it is not official by any means that this race is over, but still a fine mist in the air, and the temperature continues to fall.
Matt can't get a jacket on. It's Matt Crafton down there, the 88. Right now it's Mike Skinner being scored number 1, Johnny Benson 2, Brian Scott 3, Ron Hornaday 4, Brian Eichler is 5. And again, the moisture has caused us to go under a red flag condition once again in this race. It's the second time now. Second time in 3 days.
Remember we talked about that 51 truck and the record it has with Kyle Busch and without Kyle Busch, only 1 top 10 finish in 15 starts. And I think right now if Brian Eichler in his first ever Camping World Truck Series race could take that 5th place finish for that 51 Miccosukee Toyota, I think he'd take and go on home.
You know, and I would also say that I think Brian Eichler is probably a little bit better than 5th today.
Yeah, he certainly has a chance to maybe even better. But I think right now, all things being equal, I will take that and go to the house. But I'll tell you another guy that I really want to talk about is that gunbroker.com Dodge. Jason White has been really racy today there as we look at Brian Scott, who's right now running 3rd. And Adam, you've caught up with Jay White.
Yeah, you know, he's one of the great Cinderella stories of this series. No one works harder at the track and away from the track than Jason White, and you guys are seeing the fruits of your labor today, man. A solid run, 10th place.
10th place, awesome run. Got to thank the whole team, gunbroker.com. Steve, wish you were here. Man, the truck is awesome. And got to say happy birthday to my mom, and we're happy. Hopefully it rains out, get a top 10. It's be a good day for us.
So do you want to race some more, or do you want to take what you got?
I'm ready to get out of Kansas and head back to Charlotte.
And you know what? If Dwayne hadn't called for fuel a while ago, you may be leading this thing.
We may be leading. We took fuel and we didn't really need it.
We learned that in Martinsville.
But, you know, oh well, it's still a good day for us.
Well deserved.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you guys.
Appreciate it.
Awesome, brother.
They look happy.
Yeah, they should be. Great run. But very competitive. He didn't just inherit a 10th place finish. He has run that.